as his new chief of staff, describing the appointee as a round peg in a round hole. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Joining us on the news tonight is Professor of Clinical Research, Professor Philip Ujemenzi, a clinical world-renowned medical researcher in neuropsychology. Good evening, Professor. Good evening, sir.
Yes.
You're welcome to the news tonight. Sir, as a clinical researcher, what have you discovered about COVID-19? We apologize. In the course of the news, we'll still continue with Professor. The Federal Ministry of Science and Technology says it has received submission of claims from many individuals, organizations, and institutions that they can either cure or better manage COVID-19 using indigenous herbs and natural products. This follows an earlier charge by the Ministry of Nigerian scientists on getting a home-based solution to the coronavirus disease, which was tagged with a reward of 36 million naira. Minister of Science and Technology, however, makes it clear that these solutions, coming with bright chances and encouraging results, will still have to undergo further verifications before making them available to the nation. According to him, the determination and interest of the ministry on the matter is to make sure that homegrown solutions to COVID-19 are found to discourage reliance on other nations to solve the problem. Architect Waziri Bulama from Borno State, North-East Nigeria, has been officially confirmed as the National Secretary of All Progressives Congress. National Chairman of the party, Adams Oshiomhole, presided over the meeting. The event witnessed by members of the party's National Working Committee from the Northeast, including the governors of Borno and Gombe states, Professor Babangida Umar Zulum and Abubakar Inuwa Jawaya. The new National Secretary, Architect Waziri Bulama, promised to discharge his duties in the interest of the party. Channel 12 News continues after this timeout. Do stay with us.
Ìwéná lè tán mọ́ ọ lọ́wọ́ ṣùgbọ́n kò gbọdọ̀ jẹ́ owó ìpè.
Owó ìbéèrè láti ọdún tó ń kà jọ̀wọ́ ṣàfikún àkókò ìbéèrè.
Owó tán ni wọ́n ṣàtìtẹ̀ star fún Borrow Me Credit kí o gba owó ìpè tí o lè fún àti sanwó ìtìsíwájú. Máa sọ̀rọ̀ ṣó pẹ̀lú Borrow Me Credit. Gbígbé iye omi kan wá méjì dúrọ́mù ni o gbé wá dúrọ́mù omi ni kò gbé wá.
Coronavirus, also known as COVID-19, is a current reality. Our nation is in lockdown, just as many other countries of the world.
No school, no group worshiping, no gathering, no eating, no funeral, no wedding, no social life matters anymore. Let us fight coronavirus together. Stay safe and wash your hands regularly. use alcohol-based sanitizer, maintain social distancing.
Stay at home and monitor your favorite TVs and radio stations for updates, accurate and safety information.
Do not rely on social media. Fake news can cause more deaths than coronavirus.
Do not share unverified information, especially on social media.
Be charitable.
Let us fight this common enemy called COVID-19.
The government cannot do it alone. Let us support
Providing correct information.
This message is from broadcasting stations in our state.
Boko Haram and Islamist West African province Iswap terrorists have been killed by troops of Operation Lafia Dole in Borno State. A statement by the coordinator, Defense Media Operations, Major General John Emenche, indicates that the criminals, armed with mortars and rocket-propelled grenades, were intercepted on their way to attack villages in northwest Bagata. Major General Emenche noted that several arms were captured from the encounter. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukrot Buratai, commends the troops' gallantry and direct them to remain resolute towards eradicating the criminals. Now sports. The Nigerian Football Federation has donated personal protective equipment to support frontline workers in Lagos as volleyball stakeholders produce face masks for members across country to fight against the spread of coronavirus pandemic. Olumide Butola has the details.
As part of efforts to support the Lagos State government in its quest to reduce the spread of COVID-19, the Nigerian Football Federation donated personal protective equipment, PPE, face masks, hand gloves, and sanitizer to frontline workers in the state. Dr. Olusegun Obere, who received the items on behalf of the state government, lauded the efforts of the Federation.
It's a small token, but it's also to say a very big thank you because of the way that you're handling this and what they've done for the health and general population of Lagos.
As business owners in Lagos, it is our duty and responsibility to also support the efforts of His Excellency.
And we're grateful to the involvement of private sector and organizations like the Health NFL for this kind of gift.
Meanwhile, in line with the federal government directive on the use of face masks, Nigerian Volleyball Referees Association recently distributed thousands of the material to members across the country to fight against the spread of coronavirus.
It is the best way to fight COVID-19 and fight it to end.
In narrated development, the Chairman Volleyball Players Association of Nigeria implored players in Nigeria and in the diaspora to maintain social distancing and other preventive measures against the spread of coronavirus pandemic.
We shouldn't shake hands with our friends, relatives. We shouldn't get too close to people. That is physical distancing.
Also advised the players to engage themselves in physical fitness in order to maintain their fitness at the end of the coronavirus pandemic. First update, Olumide Butola, NTA News.
Now we still have to go back to Professor Philip in Owerri. Professor, good evening, sir. Professor, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Now, coming back to the question, as a clinical researcher, what have you discovered about coronavirus?
Yes, Great altitude starts to 50 degrees now. The way is to the west in the United States. So you see that belt going across the front. Every other case that occurred outside this belt, including in Nigeria, has been exported from this belt. So it is within a climatic belt and is being influenced seriously by climate, and that's because humidity, it has an overriding effect on the transmission of this virus.
Okay, thank you very much. Besides droplets, is the virus airborne, and why is the enlightenment campaign not focusing on the airborne aspect of coronavirus?
it's an airborne infection, quite right, and it can spread by droplets also. The issue here is the airborne aspect of it makes it to go very far, especially where there is a very low humidity. But in places where the humidity is high, as in Nigeria, you have humidity between most of the time between 40% to 70%. Then the virus does not transmit outside in the open space very far, because there are very many humid moisture in the air, and they collide with the particles of airborne infection, and then kind of they get annihilated. So they don't really transmit that much.
Professor, why is there so much emphasis on social distancing than educating people on mode of transmission?
Well, the issue of social distancing is important in by itself, because it is necessary to prevent droplets, especially droplet transmissions. So that from that aspect of view, point, yes, social distancing is important. But it's not so useful when you're in a cramped space like a car or an aircraft. So that's where the face mask comes in. And the face mask then prevents the spread, direct spread from person to person. And in that respect, yes, both the social distancing and the face mask have their role in the prevention of these diseases.
Thank you, Professor. Is continuous lockdown the solution on this time around?
No, not at all. I mean, in fact, the lockdown is a misapplied measure, especially in a place like Nigeria. Lockdown makes only sense where you have people, if you go to Europe, the offices are usually crowded. You have 20 to 30 people in an office. But in their homes, they have 2 or 3 rooms, and the average family size is only 2 or 3 people. So they can actually isolate themselves in rooms. But in Nigeria, the average family size on the whole is about 6 persons per family. And they have the average room size in major cities as 1 room. And so if you lock down and bring all these people, what you are going to do is to lock down people together. Otherwise, these people will be out in the open space, either in school or selling in the open space.
Thank you, Professor. There are speculations of other viruses breaking out. Do you foresee such?
Yes, because the work in China has shown that within this epidemic, there have been 13 different mutations of this virus. So this is astronomical. So that means even a vaccine situation, even if we're talking about a vaccine, the vaccine will not work because there are just too many variants. So you can only make one vaccine for one strain. So it's not going to work for all the strains. So a vaccine solution will not be the good optimal option, and that's the fear in this.
Thank you, Professor. That is everything we can have for tonight. Thank you very much for being with us. Thank you, sir. And that concludes our 12 minutes for tonight. My name is Leko Agbole. Good night.
Kò sí nínú èròǹgbà ààrẹ láti bá àwọn ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè yìí sọ̀rọ̀ láṣálẹ́ yìí. Ààrẹ Muhammadu Buhari ṣe ìpàdé pẹ̀lú ìgbìmọ̀ àwọn gómìnà lórílẹ̀-èdè yìí. Ẹ kú ìkàlẹ̀, Olúwakẹ́mi Ọ̀húnṣolú Síkírù lórúkọ tèmi. Ìròyìn náà rèé lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́. Iléeṣẹ́ aláṣẹ ti kéde wípé aláṣẹ Muhammadu Buhari kò ní sọ̀rọ̀ pẹ̀lú àwọn ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè yìí lónìí yàtọ̀ sí ìròyìn tó já àrùn ìwọ̀nyí wípé yóò sọ̀rọ̀ lálẹ́ òní. Olùdámọ̀ràn pàtàkì sí aláṣẹ lórí ètò ìròyìn àti ìpolongo Fẹ́mi Adésínà ló sọ ọ̀rọ̀ èyí lórí Twitter rẹ̀ lọ́sàn-án òní. Ó fìdí ẹ̀ múlẹ̀ pé kò sí ohun tó jọ ìpalẹ̀mọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ rárá, wípé àwọn ìgbìmọ̀ àmúṣẹ́yá yóò máa fi ohun gbogbo tó ìlú létí lórí àyè tí ohun gbogbo dé lórí COVID-19. Aláṣẹ Muhammadu Buhari ti ṣe ìpàdé pẹ̀lú ìgbìmọ̀ àwọn gómìnà orílẹ̀-èdè yìí láti jíròrò lórí ọ̀nà ìtẹ̀síwájú orílẹ̀-èdè. Akọ̀ròyìn wa Adamu Zambo ló mú ìròyìn bọ̀, ẹgbọ́n tí ó ń bọ̀ síwájú sí láti ẹnu Ṣèyí Ògúnbáyọ̀.
Ìpàdé ìgbìmọ̀ àwọn gómìnà pẹ̀lú aláṣẹ Muhammadu Buhari ló jẹ́ àkọ́kọ́ irú rẹ̀ láti ìgbà tí àjàkálẹ̀ àrùn COVID-19 ti gbìnàyá. Aláṣẹ Buhari ló darí ìpàdé náà láti ibùjókòó ìṣèjọba rẹ̀ nílùú Àbújá pẹ̀lú akọ̀wé àgbà ìjọba àpapọ̀ Boss Mustapha àti olórí àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ ilé aláṣẹ tuntun ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Ibrahim Gambari. Bákan náà ni alákòóso ètò ìdájọ́, alákòóso ètò ìṣúná àti ìlànà tó gbọgbọ́n àti alákòóso fún báńkì àgbà CBN ló wà níbi ìpàdé náà. Àwọn ìgbìmọ̀ àwọn gómìnà tí gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì Káyọ̀dé Fáyẹmí níwájú fún darapọ̀ mọ́ ìpàdé náà lórí ìkànnì ayélujára láti ìpínlẹ̀ kálukú wọn. Wọ́n jíròrò lórí ìgbógun ti àjàkálẹ̀ àrùn kòrónà àti ìdáhùn padà ìjọba àpapọ̀. Aláṣẹ Buhari sọ pé ó pọn dandan kí àwọn gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ kọ̀ọ̀kan fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ pẹ̀lú ìgbìmọ̀ amúṣẹ́ṣe ti aláṣẹ lórí àrùn COVID-19 láti dènà ìtànkálẹ̀ àrùn náà. Ó sọ pé àrùn COVID-19 ló ti kọjá ìmọ̀ ẹ̀rọ, ìlú agbára àti àwọn ohun àmúṣọrọ̀ nítorí àwọn orílẹ̀-èdè tó ní gbogbo èròjà yìí lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ pẹ̀lú bá ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ kòrónà fínra káàkiri àgbáyé. Ó sọ pé gbogbo ènìyàn gbọ́dọ̀ ṣọ́ra wọn kí wọ́n sì rọ àwọn ènìyàn láti fi ara wọn sílẹ̀ fún àyẹ̀wò nítorí ọ̀rọ̀ àjàkálẹ̀ àrùn kòrónà kì í ṣe kìrìmí. Kí wọ́n ṣe gbogbo tó wà ní agbára wọn láti wà ní ìdáàbòbò nígbà gbogbo. Ìpàdé náà ni wọ́n tilẹ̀kùn mọ́rí ṣe tí ó sì gba wákàtí kan gbáko. Bákan náà ni wọ́n tún jíròrò nípa ètò ọrọ̀ ajé àti ààbò fún orílẹ̀-èdè yìí. Àwọn gómìnà gbóṣùbà ọ̀káre fún aláṣẹ fún ipò adarí rere rẹ̀ àti àwọn ìlànà tó fi darí orílẹ̀-èdè yìí ní ṣíṣẹ́ pa ìtànkálẹ̀ àrùn COVID-19. Wọ́n lo ìpàdé náà láti kí àwọn aṣáájú orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà kú oríire ní yíyan olórí òṣìṣẹ́ ilé aláṣẹ tuntun Ibrahim Gambari sí ipò tó bọ́ sí báyìí pé ó bọ́ sí àkókò rẹ̀. Ṣèyí ìgbà ìlú jábọ̀lù fún iléeṣẹ́ Nta Abeokuta.
Iléeṣẹ́ ìjọba àpapọ̀ lórí ètò ìmọ̀ ìjìnlẹ̀ àti ìmọ̀ ẹ̀rọ ti sọ pé òun ti gba oríṣiríṣi iṣẹ́ ìwádìí tí ẹnìkọ̀ọ̀kan ẹgbẹ́ àti ilé ẹ̀kọ́ ṣe, eléyìí tí wọ́n fi sọ wípé ó jẹ́ ìyanjú sí àrùn COVID-19 nípasẹ̀ ewé àti egbò. Èyí wáyé látàrí ìpè iléeṣẹ́ náà sí àwọn onímọ̀ ìjìnlẹ̀ sáyẹ́ǹsì láti wá ìyanjú abẹ́lé sí àrùn COVID-19, eléyìí tí wọ́n ṣe ìlérí láti fún irúfẹ́ onítọ̀hún tàbí ẹgbẹ́ ní mílíọ̀nù $36 alákòóso fún ìmọ̀ ìjìnlẹ̀ àti ìmọ̀ ẹ̀rọ ṣàlàyé pé àwọn yóò ṣe àyẹ̀wò tó perégedé ṣáájú kó tó di wípé àwọn ṣe àgbékalẹ̀ rẹ̀ fún orílẹ̀-èdè yìí. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí ó ti sọ, ó ní ìpinnu náà wáyé láti rí dájú pé orílẹ̀-èdè yìí pèsè ìyanjú sí àrùn COVID-19 fúnra rẹ̀, yálà kó lọ gbára lé ilẹ̀ ibòmíì nínú ìpèsè àbáyọrí ọ̀hún. tó ìròyìn wa fún ti àṣálẹ́ yìí kò ní jù báyìí lọ. Ẹ pàdé wa fákọ̀tì ìròyìn láṣálẹ́ ọ̀la láṣẹ Èdùmàrè. Ó dàárọ̀ òun ìlàsìn.